Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to the 88 Dental Marketing Show. This is the internet's only dental show that's answering marketing's most important questions. That's what we do. This is episode 29. I am your host, Joshua Scott. And as you can see here today, this is a very special show. We are on location here with Dr. Todd Whitlock in Bloomington, Indiana. And just got a great episode for you. This is we've worked with Dr. Whitlock for, and we're finishing up 3 years.
3 years.
3 years now. So I thought it would be just a fun episode to sit back and ask some questions. It's kind of some real life. Instead of you guys asking me questions, we're gonna ask him some questions and get his feedback on marketing, what the experience has been like, and all of that. So yeah, maybe before I ask you a question, give us a little bio on you, maybe just a little bit about you and what they're seeing here.
All right. Well, my name's Todd Whitlock, as Josh has introduced me, and I'm a general dentist here in Bloomington, Indiana. Have been practicing for 26 years and do a lot of phases of general dentistry, but just about probably 80% is restorative and cosmetic. So,
yeah. Great practice here. It's been a privilege and a ton of fun. But so let's start maybe from the beginning. What got you? Because you haven't always been real active in marketing, and probably part of your career just maybe didn't do much at all. So what kind of tipped you? What led you to that point where you said, okay, I need to think about this. I need to get involved in it.
right. Marketing is kind of the way of the world, I think, in businesses anymore.
Yeah.
And when we were out in Napa at one of our Paragon meetings, I remember sitting there and Ken was talking about you starting up a marketing aspect of Paragon.
Yeah.
And it seemed like an awful lot of the young dentists were already doing it. And, I just thought, okay, if I'm going to be able to stay ahead of these guys, or
Yeah.
at least go along with them, I'm going to have to get into the marketing world.
Yeah,
and anyway, I wanted to create a brand and kind of let people know who we were. And so that was when I came to you and decided to take your advice and do what you thought we needed to do.
Yeah, here we go. Take the advice. But I know you also built this building, this new practice at about the same time, right?
Yeah.
Did that play a part in?
It was a lucky coincidence because I think this really helped us market ourselves even better, having the facility to go along with the other aspects of our practice that we have to offer.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Because I know one of the things we've tried to do here that I wanted you to kind of speak to was focus more on brand and name recognition versus the offers and just getting traffic through the practice. Talk a little bit about that and maybe some of your just kind of obstacles and challenges when you said, okay, I'm going to get into marketing. What were some of the challenges? What were some of the obstacles that made you a little hesitant?
I really wanted to set this practice apart from other businesses, not just dental practices, but other businesses that were doing some heavy marketing as well.
Yeah.
And I wanted to create a brand to let people know, who we were, what we did, and really make it a very personal thing.
Yeah.
And like you said, I wanted to kind of stay away from all the offers and I hate to say gimmicks, but that's kind of how it was.
Right.
And just really let people know who we were.
Okay. Yeah, because I know even initially, I think there was a time where you and I were kind of even trying to find our little dance there with it. Because I think I was bringing some stuff to you going, hey, I think we ought to put an offer here because we're just going to get some more response that way. And you're like, Josh, I don't want to do that. And so you've always been very solid on that course.
Right, yeah.
The whole time. And it's not that either is really necessarily right or wrong, but your approach was one based from your own integrity of how you wanted to approach your business and run it, but also just I think it's a good fit for this area.
Yeah. I agree. I had to do what I was comfortable with for
Right.
one thing
Yeah.
and what felt right. And if it didn't feel right, then I could see it coming across as fakey.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to put
Yeah.
that message out there.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to be really real.
Yeah. And I think that's a huge point. Joe and I were just talking on the way over about something. It was a marketing thing, and in the end, it was like we actually put some language behind it, but at the beginning, it was like it just doesn't feel right. Like I just don't like the way that's making me feel. I think that's such a valuable key when you're approaching anything in business, but marketing in general is a company comes and tries to say, hey, this is how we do it. And you're just like, I don't know. I don't like the way that makes me feel.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can tell right off. If it felt right, then go for it. And if it
Yeah.
doesn't feel right, then we need to talk about it and,
Yeah.
you know, see if we need to tweak
Yeah.
it a little bit. So
That was probably interesting just early on, some of that, just with me trying to learn that and you trying to go like, yeah, this doesn't feel right, but maybe trying to explain it, and the two of us trying to figure that out. But, you know, me just taking the time to listen and you taking the time to sit with it and see how it felt to figure it out. But
yeah, and then once we found the sweet spot, it really worked well.
Yeah.
I'm real happy with the way we've approached and executed our marketing strategy.
Yeah, good.
So,
What's been, just over the past 2 or 3 years, some favorite parts of it, some highlights, things we've done? What have you really enjoyed?
yeah, I've really enjoyed asking our patients for the online reviews and
yeah.
involving them,
Yeah.
and so that the rest of the community can, you know, get a real world picture of what we're doing here and what we have to offer, and then our photography with our ads in Bloom magazine have been really cool. You know, having real patients that, you know, were willing to have their pictures taken and put in magazines. That's been fun too.
Yeah, good.
So
Yeah, those have all been really, really fun, creative pieces for sure. And then any least favorite parts, or I don't know, things you didn't like, didn't expect, or I don't know, didn't meet your expectations. What?
yeah, maybe what I felt maybe was probably the least personal was doing the radio ads.
Yeah. Okay.
And probably wouldn't go back to doing that again. Not that it was bad, but
Right.
I just feel like maybe that just didn't quite show our personality like I wanted it to.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, what about that did you not feel like you liked, or just the distance with it, or?
Yeah, you know, I think that it's nice that, you know, it covers a wide range,
Yeah.
and but people really couldn't see what it was, see who we were.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I like people to be able to see pictures,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
of our
Yeah, you lose
of our
the
team
whole
members,
visual.
of our patients.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Yeah. And I mean, looking back, I mean, I think when we first started, we were, so radio would fall into what I call like traditional advertising, traditional media. I mean, radio, print, TV, versus digital, and getting in the reviews and websites and Facebook and search and all that. Looking back, would you change your approach? What was your kind of evolution through that?
Yeah, knowing what I know now, I think that you know, we're very intelligent consumers nowadays, and it doesn't take people long to figure out that they need to read reviews online.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And that's how people shop. That's how they purchase, and so that was a direction that I knew we needed to invest in.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. We'll leave everybody with this. What advice would you give another dentist out there? They could be younger and starting a practice. They could be middle-aged and just kind of getting to the point where, I need to think about this. I need to have a plan. What would you tell them?
I would suggest to decide on a dollar amount that you want to invest in marketing.
Okay.
And you can start off small, but you need to get in the game.
Yeah.
And then you can see how that impacts your practice.
Yeah.
And then just kind of take it from there, let it evolve on its own, and you'll find out what works for you, what you like.
Yeah.
You know, and certainly getting good advice from marketing consultants would be that would be where I would start.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's a great piece of advice, because I tell people one of the first things I talk about on a phone call or an initial meeting is, what's the budget? What have you got planned? Because we could spend $150,000 right now today on marketing if we wanted to. We can do all kinds of stuff. So you've got to create boundaries from the start, and the biggest boundary is just, what's the budget? You know, what are you comfortable with? Then let's take that and figure out what we can accomplish with it. So I think that's great advice. So I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. I appreciate your time.
Yeah. Guys, thanks so much
for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. Episode 29 of the 88 Dental Marketing Show. Guys, we'll see you next episode.